Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend. Okay, we are going to do some additional seeds starting today, but I want to go ahead and start. Before that, I'm going to be potting up. So I have a few different seedlings that I'm going to be potting up. Actually, let me bring y'all in closer and show y'all which ones they are and what they look like. There's Buffy. She has to stand right in my path every time, so I have to walk around her so she can tell where I am at all times. Okay, so first we're going to start with purple millet. A lot of them are starting to collapse and fall over, and I will show you a trick that I use with little bamboo skewers to help with that, but we're going to get those all potted up into larger containers. Those are actually going to go into quart-sized containers. And then I've got a few small perennials. I've got the Crazy Daisy, Shasta Daisy, and it did really good on germination, and then several of them died. So I'm not sure what ended up happening, but I want to go ahead and get them into larger containers. I've also got the brunette cosmedium, and it has multiple leaves on each of those. I'm going to get that moved up. The Bergamo Bee Balm, it has its second set of true leaves, so we want to get those potted up. And then the Sunburst Coreopsis, we want to get those potted up. Let's see, the Coreopsis and the Bee Balm were started on the 16th, as well as the Crazy Daisy started on this June 16th. And then the Brunette Cosmedium was started on June 21st. And then the Purple Millet was also started on June 21st. Okay, and potting up basically means is we're going to move these seedlings from this small seed cell into a larger container. We're going to go much larger, actually gallon size. We're going to go gallon size for the purple millet, and I will put 3 plants in each gallon. That works really, really well. And then with the other ones, we're going to go up to, we're just going to go up to little 4-inch pots. And I'm going to be utilizing my favorite my favorite soil, potting soil, which is Burger BM7. And I get that from Homegrown Plants in Farmersville. But I'm going to basically put this on fast forward because this is super easy to do, and then I'll show you what it all looks like in the end. Okay, I got all the purple millet potted up, got the cosmedium, Shasta daisies, and some marigolds potted up, but looking good. Over here is some bigger marigolds. They're Inca primrose. So looking good. Those, I might move those under here because they need a little bit more space. But looking really good. I decided against moving the Bergamo Bee Balm because they still felt really small. It just didn't feel like the right time. But yeah, looking good. All right, let's start some more seeds. Okay, well, I forgot to start. I forgot to press play, so we got to redo part of this. Okay, we are moving on to small investment, big bloom payoff by starting perennials from seed. And this is a way that I really get a lot of bang for my buck. So this is how I save hundreds over time by starting perennials from seed in the summer so that they're ready to transplant in the fall, and then they overwinter and then they bloom in the spring. It's a really great way to get a leg up on these perennials as opposed to starting the seeds during the winter. Why start now? Gives them time to grow strong before fall planting. Transplanting in the fall allows roots to establish during winter for spring growth. A fraction of the cost of buying mature plants. Huge, huge savings. And you can grow unique and hard to find varieties, which is definitely what we're going to be doing today. Now, let's talk about the varieties. We're going to grow 4 different varieties, but 2 of them are the same sort of flower. The first one is Summer Sangria, and it's actually an old floret seed, so these might not work at all. We'll have to see. Summer Sangria Scabiosa features rich cranberry to dark wine-colored blooms shaped like fluffy pincushions atop wiry dancing stems. The color deepens in cooler weather, adding fall richness to any bed or bouquet. 24 to 30 inches tall, hardy zones 3 through 8, and loves full sun. And scabiosas are beautiful for cut flowers. And then another variety of scabiosa flower is the Fama White Scabiosa, which is a refined perennial with large, crisp, white blooms about 3 inches across, held high on tall, elegant stems. Each bloom has ruffled edges and a lacy center, perfect for a romantic vibe in the garden. 24 to 32 inches tall, zones 4 through 9, and it prefers full sun. Now, I'm actually not a big fan of the Fama Scabiosa. I feel like the plants are scraggly, and then once you get like 1 or 2 stems from the plant, it doesn't want to do more than that. So I'm not a huge fan. I'm actually growing these for Kristen because she does like them very much. Now, we are going to be utilizing my Amazon seed starting tray. So it comes with the 12 seed cell tray, a water reservoir, and a humidity dome to go on top. If you're interested in those are linked in my Amazon storefront below. And I went ahead and filled these up with my Burger BM7, the same potting soil that we were using for potting up. I like to use this for seed starting as well. And I started with dry soil in these containers and lightly compressed the soil, not too much. And now we're ready to go. So let me bring all in closer so you can see what the Scabiosa seeds look like. Okay, we're going to start with the Summer Sangria Scabiosa. And these are much older seeds, so we'll have to see how they do. And I gotta say, I'm looking at it, and I got this from Kristen, and these seeds I think have been wet before, so we'll see how that goes. But Scabiosa seeds are surface sown, and they need light to germinate. So we're gonna go pretty heavy-handed on this seeding because this sangria, Summer Sangria, is so old. So typically the older a seed is, the lower its germination rate is. So that's why we tend to seed a little bit heavier. All right, and then I'm going to push down lightly, just making sure that these have good contact with the soil. Okay, and then we'll move over to the Fama Scabiosa, and this is a little bit of an older seed too. And it says that these are also surface sow and they need light for germination. And I think we're going to overseed these as well because I've always found their germination rate to be pretty low. So I'm going to put at least 3 in each seed pod and then, or in each seed cell. And then if they all happen to germinate, then I will separate them out into different containers so that Kristen can have more plants. All right, and then we're just pressing down on these to make sure they have good contact with the soil, but they are surface sow, so they will need light for germination. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out 2 water reservoirs, just like that, and we'll get those filled up about 50% of the way. Drop those in, and then we're going to go ahead and place a humidity dome on the top, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, a little bit about Scabiosas. They are surface sow, so the seed just goes right on the top, and they need light for germination. Minimum 14 hours of light per day, and that's how long my lights are on each day. They need to be at about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in order to germinate, which is about the ambient temperature of my home. They are about 10 to 14 days to germinate and 90 to 100 days to maturity. So theoretically, there is still time to actually get blooms from these prior to the winter. So we'll see what happens. These are loved by pollinators and excellent as a cut flower. The Fama Scabiosa is considered deer resistant with a clean, crisp white. And we're just going to go ahead and slide those right under my lights. And like I said, 14 hours a day under the lights. Okay, next on my list is a shade-loving seed. It is Pink Petticoat Columbine, which is soft blush pink petals with delicate frilly edges offset by long backward spurs that give Their heirloom style flower. It's fairy tale shape. Looks beautiful, planted in mass in part shade, about 18 to 24 inches tall, zones 3 through 9, partial shade to morning sun. And we're going to go ahead and start a dozen of those. And let me bring y'all in closer so you can see what those seeds look like. Okay, the pink petticoat columbine is from Johnny's Selected Seeds, and this is surface sow and needs light for germination. And the seeds are very tiny. And I'm going to sprinkle a few. I had really great luck with my black barlow columbine, so I would really love to get some of this pink. Would be lovely to mix with the black barlow. Put a picture up so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to save a few of these seeds. And then I'm going to just gently press down, and I'm going to check my hand, my finger, since these are so small, to make sure I'm not moving from one container to the next. Totally heard myself drop one. And then we'll go ahead and fill this container up 50% of the way. And then we'll put our tag on there and a humidity dome, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, a little bit more about the pink petticoat columbine. It is surface sow, so it needs light to germinate. So it needs to be under your lights, minimum 14 hours a day. 60 to 65 degrees, best with a cooler start. My house is about 68, so we'll see how that goes. 21 to 28 days to germinate. It can germinate very slow, so be very patient with the petticoat columbine, and that's typical of a lot of perennials. Blooms in its second year, so even if I have plants in the fall, maybe I'll trick it and it'll think this winter is its first winter and then bloom next year, like that it's completed a year. Probably not. I will have to wait 2 years for this columbine to bloom, and can benefit from cold stratification for 2 to 3 weeks, and that's where you put your seeds in a moist, cold situation for 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't do that with my black barlow columbine, and it all germinated. So knock on wood that this works, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then last on my list is Marvelette Blue Calamintha, and I started this from seed this past winter and am obsessed with it, and Kristen loved it too, so I wanted to start another round. It is small, soft, blue lavender flowers cover a compact mound of fragrant foliage, a pollinator magnet that buzzes with bees and butterflies in late summer to fall, 10 to 12 inches tall, hardy zones 5 through 9, and loves full sun. Okay. So let me bring y'all in closer so you can see those seeds. All right, and I believe I had good germination with the Calamintha. I've got 25 seeds in here. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 seeds per container, and they are super tiny. They are also surface sow, and they also need light to germinate. I love it when seeds are surface sow because it's just so much easier, in my opinion. And these are tiny. I don't think I'm going to be pressing down on these afterwards because they are so little, so I don't want to risk moving them. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and fill the water reservoir up 50% of the way. Drop our seed cell in, add our tag. Okay, so got that one done. The Marvelette Blue Calamintha is also surface sow, needs light, needs to be under the light 14 hours a day, 65 to 70 degrees to germinate, 7 to 14 days to germinate, 90 to 100 days to maturity. That's when they'll start blooming a little bit, but for bigger plants, the older and longer it is, the bigger it's going to be. Wonderful for edging, containers, or dry borders, extremely deer resistant, and very low maintenance. And I loved this plant this year. Very excited to grow it some more. Okay, a little bit about aftercare and transplanting. You want to pot up these seedlings when they have about 2 sets of true leaves, 2 to 3 sets of true leaves. So you saw that's what I was doing with a lot of my other seedlings today. You want to harden off about 7 to 10 days prior to wanting to plant it outside. So you bring it out on your back porch or whatever, a shaded area, and let these seedlings get acclimated to your environment. And you want well-draining soil and mulch lightly to insulate them for the winter, because they still are going to be a little bit immature. You know, they're not going to be massive mature plants. So making sure they're well insulated and protected for the winter is just going to give you better results for the spring. And these are a slow burn with a big payoff. And that's what it is with starting perennials from seed. All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I did want to show you one more thing I'm going to do for fertilizing. Let me go grab all my stuff. Okay, now that those seedlings are potted up, it is time for me to fertilize them. So I've got my big water container, got my jug of Alaskan fish fertilizer emulsion, and I just do a little dab in it, and then I fill this sucker all the way up with water. And then that's how I fertilize all my plants. And I like to start fertilizing them about the time when I would be transplanting them. So about the time they have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves. Now, if you are not going to be potting them up and they are in their seed cells and they have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, you can go ahead and fertilize while they're in their seed cells. That would be fine as well. But potting up does help them grow a bigger, more robust root system, which is going to help them be better plants in the end. All right, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed it today. We're really going good. We still have foxglove, delphinium, status. We still have a few more seeds to get started, but we're making really great progress. This week I'm also planting out a bunch of sunflower seeds. I think I'm going to start another round of zinnia seeds. So we got a lot of stuff that we're still doing and we're still working. Outside in the garden, it's mainly maintenance, just cleaning up, pruning, fertilizing, helping things stay alive during the hot weather. Inside, we're prepping for fall, which is totally exciting. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video so much, as well as my channel, which is great. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out on Patreon. The link is in the video description below. And my Patreon community is all things She's a Mad Gardener, all things gardening. Great group of people. Really enjoy spending time together, chatting about our gardens. I really enjoy that. There's a free tier for you to join in under, and there are additional paid tiers. The higher up you are in the tiers, the more access you get, including exclusive videos only available through the top patrons, as well as group chats and photo sharing. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.